to, at least how LeBron was in Cleveland, it was very, very different. LeBron didn't really practice.
Everything revolved around LeBron.
Yes, plus he didn't really practice. He kind of worked out on his own, did his own thing, and then they had kind of a group of young guys that would like practice kind of without him. And so it was very, very different. Whereas in Boston, you have, this group, this Al Horford and now Gordon Hayward, and where they are in the offseason. They come in, they get their work done, they go home. They come into practice, they get their work done, and they go home. It's a very professional kind of atmosphere. Anyway, I asked him, well, he's such a good passer, why didn't he pass? He's like, that's really the challenge, is does he, if he wants to be, it's like defense. Like, he can guard people.
Right. His
Do you
defense
want
has
to?
improved too,
Everybody, and he's been able to get away with just being the best finisher and making big shots. And, look, tomorrow night's going to be an incredible challenge for him, but it'll be interesting to see how he accepts it. I want to ask you about the Warriors. There are people that gave me a bunch of pushback when I said, look, I understand that we all have this image of DeMarcus Cousins as an all-star, but he's never played a playoff game. His team got better last year when he got hurt. And he's not, it's a bad injury for anybody, but for a big guy carrying 270, 280 pounds, he doesn't have the lift. And they will have to play defensively very, very differently if you play with a true center on the floor at the end of games. What's the rest of the league? What are you hearing about what they think of the Warriors as they're now coming to their kind of full construction?
Well, the defense is the question mark. And a lot of people are like, we're going to put Cousins in that pick and roll and exploit him. And so look, offensively, he's fitting in fine. I mean, I've never seen him run the floor like this. He's rim running, let's see if he keeps it up, but he's certainly been doing that early.
Floor is a little tilted. He runs this way really fast. Sometimes he doesn't run the other way all that fast.
We know he's a good three-point shooter. Not a great
He's
one,
a great offensive player.
Right.
With the basketball.
And he's moving the ball fairly well. So I think offensively he's fitting in well, and he's a great passer for a big man. So if he buys in, and I think he is, then that gives another dynamic to their offense. They had everything covered, Doug. The threes, the mid-range, the driving game, the backdoor cuts, all that. They didn't have a post guy. Not that they needed it necessarily, but now they even have that option with Cousins. Defense is where the questions are, and teams know, look, we can't stop him offensively, but he does give us a guy we can exploit. They always try to go at Steph.
Now you
got two guys.
Now you have two guys. Yeah. You can hide one. It's really hard.
It's harder to hide two.
Really hard to hide two. What's the state of the Sixers? That's a weird group.
They are better with Jimmy Butler, I believe. I think they're 19-9 with him. That's about a 56-win pace or something like that. But from what I've heard, it's the same thing as it was in Chicago and Minnesota. And I've talked to people up there. He's rubbing guys the wrong way. So Elton Brand, the GM, has to decide, are we going to keep him? And think about it. He's not going to be happy unless he gets the full 5 years, 190, because that was one of the things that had him all out of sorts in Minnesota, is that he wasn't the money. People thought it was just, the young guys are soft, but he also was like, you paid them. And I haven't gotten paid, or you're not guaranteeing me I'm going to get paid. So you got to give him the 190. And if you pay him, do you want that attitude? You think he's doing some things now? What's he going to be like once he's got that money?
It's the old Chris Carter. Money doesn't make you a different person, makes you more of what you are. Right.
And do you want that example for Embiid and Simmons, who are your future? So I think Elton Brand's got a big decision to make. If we're not going to keep him, then I think you got to trade him. And I'll tell you what, look, we start off with the Lakers. I don't think they're not getting KD, I don't believe. I don't think they're getting Kawhi. I don't think Kyrie's going there. I don't think Klay's going there. I would take Jimmy Butler if I'm the Lakers. I would trade for Jimmy Butler if I could, because Jimmy, all these issues he's had, Chicago, Minnesota, now Philadelphia. What's the common theme? Young guys. Young guys, he may respect their talent or their games, but they're young. What are they going to tell Jimmy Butler?
He also does.
He couldn't do that with LeBron.
Yes, he also does the car service to the game thing. He's also, he's little Jimmy Butler Inc.
Yep. Doesn't get on the team bus going the way to the game.
Yeah, so
but I think with LeBron, though, he would respect LeBron, and LeBron's the leader. If you're the Lakers, I think LeBron and Jimmy Butler would be a heck of a tandem.
Still needs shooting. They
do
need shooting, and I think they think Anthony Davis is the guy they would prefer to.
I think it's
going to
be difficult to get him. No doubt that he's the guy they prefer, but he's not getting. This is what's going to happen. He's not going to have to demand a trade. He says I'm not. He doesn't want to be the bad guy. This summer, New Orleans is going to put that supermax in front of him on the table.
Right.
He's going to reject it.
That's a lot of money.
I believe he's going to reject it.
Yeah.
But if he rejects it, then they're going to realize, okay,
we got to move.
Right.
Okay, I got one more for you. The James Harden run is pretty remarkable. And look, I can sit here and say, I mean, did you see the stat? It's 163 consecutive points without somebody assisting on it.
Unbelievable.
Which
now,
means,
that's not great team basketball, obviously, but that does make it more impressive for him. Don't you think? It's just harder to do.
It's really hard to do. I don't know if impressive is the word. It's hard to do, and I know that should go hand in hand with impressive. But like in this day and age of ball movement offense, that is not what they do.
You're not going to win at a high level. There's no way. Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James could not win as one-man shows. James Harden's not winning a title as one-man show.
In fairness to James Harden, he isn't technically a one-man show. Other guys will score off of his passing. He just won't score off of their passing. But he does
it all. Yeah.
Right. But
he's shooting what? In this run, he's averaging 43 points. What's he averaging? 20, close to 30 shots a game?
Yes.
He's shooting more threes than volume shooters shoot total shots.
Yes.
Like Westbrook averages 20 shots a game. Harden has games where he shoots 23s.
So with that sort of ball, do we have to give him the MVP because he's taken more shots? He has the ball more. Like literally has the ball, taking a shot or making a play every possession.
I hear you because can I bring up quickly? Remember when Michael Jordan played point guard the last 24 games of the 89 season? Yeah. He averaged 30 points, 11 assists, and 9 rebounds because he had the ball all the time.
Right.
And he was making every play.
Yeah, and pace of play was slower then than it is now.
Right, so the numbers
yeah.
might even be higher.
Yes.
And the three-pointer wasn't a factor. But I do think Harden is the clear leader for the MVP. I'm a voter. If I had to vote today, he would undoubtedly get my vote because here's the other thing, Doug. They're winning.
Yes.
They're 15-6.
I know I have to wrap, but I'm going to blow it off for one more. What's the matter with Russell Westbrook's shot? What happened? He was never a great shooter, but now he's 4 of 8 from the free throw line. And I know he made them the night before, but there's something physically wrong with his shot, which wasn't there before.
Some people talk about the routine of he used to be able to walk back between free throws, walk back to the half court line and come back. The league got rid of that. You can't do that.
No, but he's
anymore.
not shooting the ball from the perimeter the same either. Right. There's something wrong with the shot.
I don't know how to explain it. I would like to see it over, like if it carries over to next year before I say, okay, this dude is, I don't know how to explain it. Is it mental? He's playing good basketball otherwise, great basketball otherwise, but he's just not shooting it well.
No, and he shoots a lot. What Yogi Berra said, 50% mental, 75 or 70%.